Here inside, the Q Cavs snapped their two-game losing skid, 115-100 the final against the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Fedor, Joe Vardon, Chris Haynes to recap this one. And guys, the message that was coming out of the locker room after the recent loss against Detroit was, we've got to be tougher, we've got to hit first, we've got to play with more passion, we've got to play with more hunger. It seemed like they certainly did that tonight.
Yeah, and whatever Coach Blatt said to them in that film session on Wednesday, definitely you could see that it hit home. This team came out inspired. They came out and got a good jump. The first quarter was solid. It was a solid first quarter. Second quarter, they just went and imposed their will. Milwaukee Bucks were caught off guard. Jason Kidd said before the game he was concerned that this will be a test for this team. Clearly, they wasn't ready for this test, but clearly the Cavaliers stepped up to the plate and hit a home run for Coach Blatt. And definitely right now, I think you could see Coach Blatt is starting to have his voice really heard within that locker room.
Joe, after the game against Detroit, the players were asked, how do you think you're going to respond against Milwaukee? And they admitted, hey, we don't know for sure. We'd like to think that we're going to respond the right way. And I think we got our answer tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they responded the right way, surely. And I think they're responding reasonably well to David. And it seems like LeBron and David are on more of the same page than they were a year ago. But I also think all of this was just way overblown, and not by us. I mean, this was something that LeBron blew way out of the water, and then David kind of followed him. It's November. They lost 2 in a row. Now they're what? They're 10-3. They're 9-3. They in their 3 losses this year, they're shooting like 61% at the foul line.
Yeah.
You shoot 70%, you're undefeated. So, I think they're a lot closer than they give themselves credit for. And maybe that's a good thing then, that they're playing through all this adversity with injuries and whatever else. And the games they lose are very close, and they express like extreme dissatisfaction with it. So maybe that's a good sign long term.
Coming out of halftime, we were looking around the court, and we were looking at the Cavs starting 5 for the second half, and they were missing a 7'1" Russian. A guy that you notice if he's going to be out there on the court. Tristan Thompson got the start in the second half. Timofey Mozgov leaves the game, injured shoulder, paves the way for Andersen Varejao to get dusted off the bench, and Andy responded in a way that we haven't seen from Andersen Varejao this year, Chris.
He was energetic. He definitely provided a spark. He was out there knocking jumpers down from that elbow, time after time. And you can really see that, before this game. I talked to him. I actually had a chat about how he's handling this. He said it's tough. It's tough, but he's going to be ready. And I think you can see that level of professionalism play out there on the court tonight. How many guys will be ready and be able to come in the third quarter and be able to just, when the game is on the line, the game is in the thick of things, be able to go out there and perform? That's only professional, and he definitely showed that. And kudos to Andersen Varejao. If there was a game ball to be given, they probably should have gave it to him tonight.
It just kind of makes you wonder, I guess, at the end of this game, after the way that Andy performed, the fact that he didn't play against Detroit, the fact in the previous 3 games before tonight he got a grand total of 8 minutes. Perhaps this means that his role is going to increase as the season goes on for the Cavs, and maybe David Blatt will trust Andy a little bit more moving forward. For Joe Vardon, Chris Haynes, I'm Chris Fedor. Cavs a winner tonight, 115-100.